Okay guys, I am back and we're going to work with this 8x8 paper pad. It's by Prima and it's a 2017, so I have no idea. Like I got it like last, say July maybe. So I don't know if some of those stores still have it, but I've had it and I only paid like $2.99 for the pad, so that's why I picked it up because it's really pretty. And yeah, so let's just create. So I'm not exactly sure what we're going to create. It's going to be some type of an ephemera folio type. And then I just wanted to, I just took off the plastic so we didn't have to fight with that. This is what I use. It's the Office Depot Premium Translucent Vellum Paper. It's very heavy. And I know somebody in one of my comments on my video before asked about tracing paper. It's not the same thing. This stuff, I would equate it to almost cardstock thickness in a way. And tracing paper, I think, is going to be too thin. But always try it. Guys, I just tell you what I use. I'm not going to say you shouldn't use something. If it works great for you, that's awesome. I'm just sharing what I use because I don't ever want to be kind of what I consider arrogant in telling, saying don't ever use that, I haven't, and I probably wouldn't, but you know what? Like I said, if you've had good luck with tracing paper, then that's what you should use. So I'm wondering, because this thing doesn't cut real well getting close to this end piece here. So maybe, all right, so not sure exactly where to start because like I said, I didn't really come in with a plan. I think most of my plan consists of, I wonder, hold on, let me, because since I've never really worked with an 8x8 pad, I don't know what this up here is all about. So, yeah, it makes it almost 9.5. So, I was wondering, all right, I'm sorry guys, I'm just trying to get my game plan here because I think what we could do is since we have these here, we could, thank you Shell for saying that so many times, and Gail, now it seems like I'm going to say it a lot. We might have to trim it down a little bit, but I'm thinking that we could use those and make small ones for, let's see, how would we do that though? Okay, so if we're gonna make them, let me get out my scoreboard, and we may run through a couple of pieces of paper doing this. And I think I'm gonna leave this, so if your paper pad has that, leave it. If not, we can adjust. So half would be 4. So if we go directly in half, and then if we did, let's see, how wide is this paper here? This one left is 3.25. So if we were to go, sorry, I'm thinking out loud here. So 4 would be here, and that would still put us way too long here, unless we did it. And then what would that make it? All right, I'm going to score it, since I left it there, I'm going to score it at 5 and see, no? Because that's going to make it way too big. Okay. Okay, I'm going to, all right, change of plan. I'm going to go ahead and cut that off. Because for whatever reason, my brain is not functioning there. And you know, I didn't even look at the time when I started. So again, maybe we'll just like pause while I do some of the gluing and stuff. Okay, so I've cut that off. Let's see. There's my fold there. So let's just do how much is too much? So if we added a 1/2 inch on each side, 3 3/4, that leaves, is that a little over half? No, okay, just a little under half, okay. So we might have to, like I said, we're just playing, we're just gonna see what we get, okay? Yep, that's a little too tall. And maybe part of my confusion here is that trying to use this stuff. Yep, I think that's what it is, because I would ultimately like it to be that size. I know I'm probably confusing the heck out of you. So let me fold this up, and then we may end up just cutting for this one, because we want as little waste as possible, right? So instead of having flat pockets, let's cut this part here, right? Because, well, that's going to look obnoxious there. But maybe we don't care. Let's just create. So that's a shorter side, yep. Okay, so instead of taking a big V this time, I'm just going to cut just a little bit. Right, I hope I did that on the right side, right? Yeah, okay. So instead of doing the big V, I did a small V to just cut out a little bit. And now let's take and fold this. Fold it all the way down to the bottom. That's one thing about not being able to put your head right over the top of it. You get a little weird. Okay. Well, that's off a little bit, isn't it? Oh well. We're just going to leave it. Okay, so now we have 2 pockets here. Let's glue those in. Okay, just up like that. And you'll never guess what. Little feral mom brought us 4 more kittens. Yeah, so we've got some baby kittens. I will probably show you pictures like I did last time. These ones we will probably adopt out. I'm kind of hoping. Okay, so what I was saying a minute ago, maybe we don't care that it sticks up a little bit. Reason being is what I'm thinking is obviously this is going to be too tall, but if you had, say, die cuts, obviously a little smaller, you could stick them in there, but would they get tangled up? See, I'm not really liking this. So you know what we're going to do? We're just going to cut this down. And then we'll just cut the whole pad down. How about that? And now I'm wondering if the 6x6 might work better. So that was about that's about a 1/2 inch cut off. So we'll probably have to, what we'll probably do is just make a whole nother one after we've done this one. Now, I know that it's going to be too long here, but I need to figure out how much to take off. Yeah, again, we'll have to take off almost an inch, I think, because this is 4 inches, so we'll want it to be 3 3¼ Let's try that. So it's very similar to making a mini journal, right? Little tiny guy. Only we're going to add just some small pockets. So and kind of what I'm thinking, so, and I'm not going to be able to do the math, so we're going to want our papers at 7.5. Okay, so let's do 3 again. So we already got 1. Oh, but I can't do 7.5 on that other one. Hold on, let me just cut it over here, maybe. Now that I have everything strung everywhere. Such is my life, right? That's what I do. I think that's what all of us do, right? That's why our rooms never stay clean. Yeah, that is definitely why my room never stays clean, is because I mean, if you saw right now, literally, I have 5 journals for May, or for June started. And I did pick up, like, boxes. Yeah, I think I have a spare one just hanging here. At Sam's, they have a 4-pack, and it's like $14. So, they're project boxes, because now it's getting to the point where I need to take stuff with me so that, like, when I'm sitting in the car, I can be working on them. Okay, cute. Yep. And like I said, these could even work as like little happy mails too. So I think I'm done with the scoreboard for a minute. So on the next one, we're going to have to figure out measurements. So maybe we should make it as we're going along here. So, maybe I shouldn't have gotten rid of these just yet, huh? Okay, so that one is 8 wide, and then it is, we're gonna have to double this up. And again, I don't know why I cannot do the stupid math today. So 7.5. So it's 8 by 7.5. So let's make another one really quick just to make sure we've got all that like done. Let's make another one out of maybe, let's do the pretty little flowers. How about that? Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and cut it off this other end here. And I can't measure 7.5 on this one. Sorry, guys. I'm going right over here to the big cutter. So, you know, talk amongst yourselves for a second. Okay, so this is my 7.5 inch side. Oh my, why am I so, okay, so 8 inches is, no, that's a 7, okay, 8 inch side. That one we want in half, so we'll score it at 4. And then it's at 3 3/4, right? Yep, 3 3/4. Okay, so score that down. Yep, it's almost right in half. Yay. Okay, again, I'm going to take it and just cut a sliver off. Open it up, and then, oh, but I didn't do it. No, there we go. Okay, and then I'm going almost to that first score line, but not quite, okay? I would say it's about a little less than 1/4 inch so that we have this little top flap here. Okay. These would be kind of cute too if you just made them with paper and put them in a journal. Okay. So in just 2 seconds, I'm going to give you those measurements again of what we did. First, I'm going to glue that down. You could even probably cut those triangles off instead of gluing them down. That would probably work okay. Oh. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and clamp that while we're waiting. We're doing the other. So again, you want 8 by 7.5. On the 8 side, you score at 4 inches. On the 7.5, you score at 3 3/4. Okay. Okay, then your paper here, the insert paper is going to be 3 1/4 or 3 3/8 by 7, just under 7.5. Okay. And then it fits right in here, just like this. Okay. Now I think I can get rid of that, at least for a second. Yeah, I can, but then I'm going to have to get the big cutter, now that I have that clear, the big cutter out. And this is what I was going to tell you in the last video when you're doing the big, folios. I think before I told you just to cut a sliver off your vellum, because it comes in an 8.5 by 11 sheet. I changed my mind. What I've been doing now is I know that I want my pockets to be at 5.5 or 5 inches wide. So I'm taking the 11.5 side and cutting 5, and then slipping, once that's cut, then slipping and cutting 5 again, and that you end up with this like 1-inch strip here. Okay. So that's my whole, I didn't want that anymore. So I think I want, because these are 3, what are those? 3 and, we said 3 1/4, roughly. Yeah, about 3 1/4. So I think I want a 2.5 inch pocket. And I'm going to go down here because I've already marked out for all those. I haven't tested it to see if I can get those markings off, but I kind of like making the ephemera folders, so I'm going to keep them there so that I have my measurements from now until I decide I don't want them anymore, and then a little bit of rubbing alcohol, take it right off. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and cut several pieces of 2.5 inches. And then in half, ways for, or not, I'm not going to cut it directly in half because that'll still be too wide, but we'll have to figure out what that half mark is for our width inside here. Oh, so much easier ways to do this, isn't there? Okay, so that way we're at about 3 1/4. Sorry, you guys, had to get a drink. It is really hot in my room. So I'm going to go at 3.5 inches wide. So I'm going to cut those 3.5 inches wide. Okay, remember, save your pieces here because when I do them, I'll link Wendy's video in case you haven't seen it. But yeah, she's got some really cute stuff. Okay, so wait a minute. How many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And we have 1, 2, no. 1, 2, 3 times 4 is 12. So we're going to need a couple of more pockets. So, do we cut another sheet, or do I take, oops, sorry guys, take some of my scrap, I bet. That's what we'll do. Because these are at 2 inches, so we could make a couple of 2-inch pockets, right? These are at 2. Why am I measuring up there? Yep, okay, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4 of these, so I'm just going to go ahead and cut it down to 3.5. those over there. So, okay, so we have 12 little pockets. Okay, so, and just like before, I use my art glitter glue. I've not had luck with any of the other kind of glue, so I'm just going to kind of randomly put in the pockets. Okay, those fit just about right on there. And then just a reminder, when you're putting in the glue, go to the outside so you're not squishing all the glue in and cutting down. You're going to lose some pocket space no matter what you do with the glue. But if you go out with it, then it goes to the outside, not to the inside. Make sense? Okay. Let's do a 2.5 inch or 2-inch pocket here. Mix it up a little bit, right? All right, and let's glue that last one on. Or last one for this page anyways. I hope you don't mind joining me while I'm not going to stop this video. I'm just going to keep going. Normally I would stop and glue them all and then come back, but I think I'm just going to bring you along through the whole process. Okay, there's one page. Yeah, so in this batch, the interesting batch of kittens, there's one tiger with like white around its eyes and nose, so he's super cute. And then there's like almost like a little tuxedo one, but he's not quite black and like solid black and white. He's kind of like a dark tiger. And then there's two little calico girls in there. Totally bizarre. Like, yeah, and like they're really calico. They're not like Faith, where I mean Faith is calico, but she's more like tiger calico, if that makes any sense. Probably not, but and I think you could probably add like a thumb hole punch in here if you wanted. I think that would be okay. Though I would say, now that I said that, it might catch up a little bit depending on what you're putting in it. Okay, that's page 2. Page 3, we're going to put this size down here. I think it's about time for lunch. I'm betting in like 2 seconds my tummy's gonna start growling. So hopefully we'll get through the video before it really starts rumbling. You could probably even do this too with like regular scrapbook paper. I don't know that you would necessarily have to do the vellum. I think the vellum would lend for visibility purposes, but you know, if you're just doing this for like a Happy Mail, I think if you were to make the pockets like this tall, like an inch, inch and a quarter, maybe even like an inch and a half, I think if you were to do that and then put in your ephemera, that would look cute. Okay, so let's that and bind it, and hopefully, knock on wood guys, my fingers will work when it comes to putting the binding in. My fingers are still pretty swollen. It's a couple hours later from when I originally filmed the first one, but so again, we're just going to eyeball kind of the middle. Yikes. And you want to avoid doing that. To keep an eye on that, make sure I'm not bleeding all over this. Yes, so be very careful with your awls. Yeah, I usually don't tell you when I mess up and hit myself with the awl, but or cut myself, or okay, where did it go? Should we, let's do the lighter one anyways. Okay. Okay, I have the big ones out, but where did my little one go? Oh, I actually put something away. How about that? Yeah, I guess that is one thing. I always glue it shut, even when we're on camera. So you guys never actually, I don't bleed all over the project, and I don't, like, nobody knows. I know. People laugh at me for doing that, but then I was just thinking maybe my head's in the way. Again, I'm standing because I sat for like 3 days doing these ephemera folios because I did all the prep work first, right? And then I had to wait for the vellum to come, and yeah, so I've just sat for too many days in that chair, and so I've got to, that's why I have the desk and the chair that I have, is so that I have the option to stand and still be in height, if you will. Oh my gosh, this is so cute. Oh my goodness, I'm liking it. It's a wee bitty ephemera folio. Okay, well, we're gonna have to find some little folio or a little ephemera to put in it, aren't we? You know, this would look, these I think would be almost better than those stamp folios in a way. And that being because we always have like small little things left over from our projects, right? And it, you know, these big guys and even the stamp folio is going to take up a lot of real estate on your desk, right? But you could easily stick, like, obviously it wouldn't work for the bigger ones, but you could easily stick, see, they'll just slip in there, and then the smaller pockets. And I actually think the more I make, the more I will do the 2 or 2.5 inch 2-inch pockets. You could easily stick your leftovers. See, I have some leftovers here from one of my porch prints. So let's put him back where he goes. You could easily stick these little guys in here. I mean, and they could even stick up if you wanted to, but you know what would be really cool and talk amongst yourselves for a second, because I'm going to get something that might work. Now, I'm not saying this particular box or anything, but you could have a smaller shoebox and just start stacking up your, like, it would be a really easy way, because you could even put a label on here. And maybe we should just do that if I have any handy. I don't know that I have any handy. Yeah, I need ephemera folders. That's another reason why I'm making so many. But I know I have labels somewhere handy. But would you believe I just can't, like, I can't even think of who I have over here to be able to grab the label. How ridiculous is that? Like, none of the creators are, like, even are, like, coming to my head, and it's probably because I'm on film. Let's see. Elsie Bells doesn't have any labels in that particular batch, and I know I've printed some. Oh my gosh, I'm such a goob. I am such a goob. It's right here. And that's why I can't find it. I know, this is a mess, but these are projects. There's a Tracy Fox folder. That's exactly what I was looking for. See, I'd really like to get out of my plastic bags. That would be amazing. Let's see what we got in here. Thinking something like maybe a little darker. It'd be really cool if I had the butterfly one is really pretty, but then you're not going to be able to, unless you can always remember which creator is which. This one would look cute, I bet. Oh, that one has roses. I thought that other one was blank. Where did it go now? There it is. Yep, it's blank. Okay. So we'll just take a Tracy Fox label. You know what? I might actually even just use that now. Hers with a, I can't remember if it's with an E or not. So Tracy Fox labels. How about that? How slick was that? Oh, it's already out. Oh my gosh. Such a goofball. So let's just stick a couple of these in. And then I think you could even do like the stamp set size, right? That out. So if you're not doing things on like a large scale, let's find one of the smaller pockets, you know, just creating small amounts. Look at that. How cool is that? And I bet you could get this whole stack in there. Of course, I'll have to go back and reorganize it a little bit as far as like to like, I guess. Yeah, check that out. You can just slip them all in there. Oh, I'm so excited. Yeah, I do think I would like the 2-inch pocket better in these. So note to self, for this other one up here, I'm going to go ahead and do a 2-inch pocket because I don't actually think I'll keep the labels in here. I think I'll just take that one off and do something a little bit different because I think some of these will get lost. How about that? Instead of it all floating around in a plastic bag, if you organized them, perfect. And then you can probably, I don't have any here, but you could probably just use like a hair tie or just like a small tie or maybe nothing at all if you're using, like I said, the shoebox. Where did that go? Or if you have a cool little plastic container, you can just set them up like that. Or since you made them the way you did, you can just set them up like that in your little container. And you know what? You could, instead of using a label here, you could put a tab on it, right? Like if you're like whichever side you're going to put it in your box, do a little tab at the top with their name in it. And then, oh my gosh. Okay. So if you used, Wendy's new thing here, you could do the old-fashioned thing. I'm just going to rip for demonstration purposes. You could just do Tracy and then kind of slip it in here, not go too deep on the glue, right? And make one of those little things there. And then you can just slip it in and out like that. And then if you wanted to get really fancy, you could take this, your little punch here, to where you'd still have a little weight, like a little bit of a grip there. Oh my gosh. All right. How about that? Yeah, you could totally just, you know, you can make them smaller too. Or you can use one of your labels. Endless possibilities. And up here in front, you could stick a little bit of your bigger, like, flower ephemera. I think these are all way too large for this, but yeah. Oh, but that one's kind of weak, but yeah, you could totally stick your bigger stuff up here. Obviously not that big, but you get my point. All right, awesome. I think I'm in love with these little guys. How cool would these be if you had a bunch of them and you were like, yeah, for me, like when I have those little tiny bits left over from kits that I use during design team projects, I think I like this for organization. All right, I think I'm going to make a couple more. So just to recap, I know I've already said it once, but just to recap, those measurements are 7.5 tall, basically, by 8 wide. And then you score it 4 and you score it 3 1/4. And then these pages are 7.5 by 3 1/4. Right? Right? 8, 7.5. Score at 3 3/4, right? Okay, and then these are 7.5 by 3 1/4. All right, cool. All right, guys, thanks for coming along with me, and I hope you enjoy these as much as I do. Oh my gosh, they're so much fun. All right, thanks, guys. Bye.